it surprise you if the thing I was just holding on to that seemed so harmless was actually a bomb? Would it surprise you that the thing I was scrolling on and seemed so happy to enjoy in the moment is too distracted to know the environment I was actually going into just now? Would it just surprise you that what I was holding on to was actually the deadliest weapon known to mankind? No, it wouldn't, would it? Because this that I'm holding on to, which is actually just nail clippers because the thing I'm recording on is my phone, pretty funny, is something that you and I use day to day. I am going to blow your mind. Doom scrolling to death is part of the larger problem, and by encouraging constant screen use, the government and corporation has handed us one of the deadliest modern weapons known to mankind. Unlimited access, unlimited time that keeps us addicted to our phones, to our technology that quietly consumes our time, our health, and just our well-being in general. Imagine a life without your phone. You can't do that, right? Because our phone isn't just meant to help us, it is meant to hook us. We live so much of our lives inside a little box inside our hands, and while many of us call this normal, it actually is carefully crafted addiction created by the government. Now listen closely, because some of these things you probably are just gonna ignore because we are so addicted to our phones that we ignore the big picture. The addiction is fueled by corporations and reinforced by governments that fail to regulate them. The result, our attention is manipulated. Our health is weakened, and our ability to live meaningful, joy-filled lives isn't there anymore. Because what's there? Our phone. Our phones, they keep us hooked. Addiction treated as normal, but is engineered by the government. Phones are intentionally engineered, like I just stated, to keep us addicted. They're designed like the apps that you and I click on our phone, like slot machines. What do I mean by slot machines? Well, from infinite scrolls to variable rewards, our phones mimic casino psychology. So what I mean by that is, as Nir Eyal explains in his own research, dopamine spikes when we anticipate the unknown, just like pulling a slot machine lever. So imagine you're in a casino, which if you are, we're not gonna talk about that. It's such a good analogy to use for this. So imagine you're pulling the slot machine lever, okay? Former tech insiders admit this design is no accident. They created the apps to exploit our needs for belonging, status, and competence. Something else, addiction damages mental health. Whoa, mind blown, am I right? That gets me every time. That seasonal depression, let's look back. Maybe it's our phone. Maybe it's the time that it takes away from our family. Maybe it's the time it takes away from us going outside. Ever think about it? Studies show excessive smartphone use is strongly linked to anxiety, depression, stress, and poor sleep. In fact, the NIH found heavy phone users report more stress and even lower academic performance. Point C that I have, Gen Z is most at risk. Who is Gen Z? Well, that's you and me. Gen Z generation right here. Nearly every US teen is online daily. Is that a surprise? Probably not. And nearly half say they are online almost constantly. This fuels fear of missing out, which is FOMO. You probably heard us talk about that multiple times here at camp. Oh, I have FOMO that I'm not doing this here at camp. Oh, I have FOMO because I'm doing my work and I'm not spending time with my friends right now. In social media burnout, more than any other generation, that's us. So addiction to our phones, the government uses to their control. They have control over us because they were the ones that made our phones. Lack of regulation protects profit. So that means that in the US, the lawmakers still build on algorithm transparencies while Europe pushes ahead with stronger protections. This leaves Americans vulnerable. Algorithms manipulate politics and truth. Research shows that algorithms amplify certain political messages while hiding others. They push the most engaging, not accurate, and content fueling misinformation and polarization. Gen Z's attention is monetized. So right now, you're probably getting bored of what I'm talking about. Why? Because our attention span is so low. Targeted ads and data collections turn our habits into profit. Brands deliberately target us, Gen Z, because of our high screen time. Everyone pull out their phones. Hold out. I know it's right next to you. Don't even lie. Now, I want you to guess before you open your phone what your screen time average is. Okay. Now, I want you to actually look at your screen time average. Is it anything close to what you thought your actual screen time average was? Probably not. I was going to give a cookie out, but I can't really give you a cookie. The cookie was for if you got the average time that you thought it was going to be to the actual time it is. So I'm going to keep those. Yet most Americans don't realize how much data is collected by the screen time that we use on our phone, or how little companies can be trusted with it. What Gen Z college students can do about it. So since we know the problem that we face with our phones every day, and then we are more aware of it, let's figure out what we can do as college students and as a Gen Z generation to help solve this issue that we have. We can practice digital hygiene. Now, imagine you're brushing your teeth. That's hygiene, right? Imagine you're brushing your hair. That's hygiene. Now, there could be digital hygiene. Turning off notifications reduces stress, improves focus. Using apps like Freedom or Screen Time helps cut usage by up to 50%. Advocate for structural change. You have a voice. There are platforms on social media, which is kind of ironic, that you can put your voice out there to be vulnerable and to help a movement and just with your young voice reshape tech culture. Reclaim attention through literacy and community. With our phones in our lives, we are not able to have that community that we wish to have because we are always on our phone, looking down, not aware of our surroundings. So critical media literacy makes us less vulnerable to manipulation. Studies also show students who intentionally unplug from their phones, from their technology, report better grades, lower anxiety, and happier relationships. So, side bullet points for that, turn off your notifications. Do it right now. Wait until the end of my presentation, but still, turn off your notifications. More focus, less stress. Screen time apps help reduce usage by 30%. Remember that. Students' protests have historically made a change. Put your voice out there to make a change so people can actually start building community and stop being on their phones. Log off movement builds healthier online communities. Digital literacy, which is resistance to the manipulation that the government has on us. Unplugging from our phones helps us build those relationships, better grades, all the above. So in conclusion, our addiction to the small box that's in our pockets that we are so easily gonna whip out and maybe social awkwardness when we're in a conversation and we're like, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm gonna whip out that phone. I'm gonna start scrolling. I'm gonna start looking at the weather app. Random things, like not even important to our life. Just things that don't matter. We need more discipline in. We need discipline on our phone. It's a result of deliberate engineering and government neglect. But knowing this gives us power. Acknowledging that the government is trying to kill us through our phones gives us power. Gen Z can reclaim our attention, set boundaries, and push for change. Because the truth is, if we don't, These devices will continue to quietly consume our time, consume our lives, consume our health, consume our awareness, one endless scroll at a time. Not self-control issues. It is not self-control issues. It is the engineered addiction. Government allows exploitation, and Gen Z has power to reclaim that attention. Push for healthier, more meaningful lives. Here's a cookie.